Okay, everybody, I am here with another episode of Chamber Chat, and I've got a brand new guest in the car today. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we can kick it off from there.
Well, my name is Nick Hurliman CPA here in Scappoose.
And you've been around forever, right?
It feels that way sometimes.
That's a great way to start the interview.
Maybe athletically I feel that way, but yes. No, we've been in business since our first tax filing season was 2012, so we've been around that long.
Yeah. So and it's not just you who does it, right?
Right. So it's my wife is actually the main CPA. She's a very technical resource of ours, and
is she the smarter?
Yeah, way smarter.
Way smarter.
We already knew that.
Yeah. Just for the people at home.
Yes. And then we have one other CPA, Hannah Ward, and then we have additional staff that support. We have 4 other staff that take care of bookkeeping, to payroll, to just a good client experience with our front desk person. That way we can take good care of our clients.
And so for I think most people know what a CPA does, but let's just assume for the dozens of people that are going to see this,
right?
What in a nutshell does a CPA do?
So, I mean, most of our business is around a lot of helping small business. So we'll do taxes for individuals and businesses alike. And then we'll do some, tax planning as a part of that sometimes too. So people don't get to the end of the year and a whole bunch of taxes.
Yeah.
A lot of bookkeeping too, and QuickBooks help. 3 or 4 of our staff are QuickBooks Pro certified. So they've gone through all the trainings with QuickBooks and Intuit, so they can, kind of help people get out of a mess once they've kind of got themselves stuck in QuickBooks. Usually happens. And then we also do a lot of payroll too for our business clients, and some of the more complex payroll. Bigger houses don't serve the churches and things very well, or smaller organizations that have some weird tax laws they can take advantage of. So we usually help a lot of them. We'll process the payroll and get them checks or get them direct deposit, those kind of things.
So I was going to talk about, obviously, we're filming this at actually the start of August, but big time at the start of the year for you guys is probably the busiest time of year. But I think a lot of people maybe think or are under the impression that you guys just do taxes and January through April you're crazy, and then you just kick them back with your feet up for the rest of the year, right? Is that how it works?
If only. I mean, a lot of times, as situations get more complex and people need a CPA, that's a lot of times when they'll come in, and some of those people need to go on extension. I mean, it makes sense to go on extension.
Sure.
There's more things to sort out. Some of the more complex financial transactions that information's not available until later in March, whereas it's not practical to get their return done. So some people, we're still working on individual returns and some of the business returns. It's hard for small business sometimes to get their QuickBooks in order, to be ready for the tax filing time. So.
And it's one of those things where, when it comes to fixing mistakes, you see a lot of, I'm sure everybody's familiar with the sort of the over-the-counter, the H&R Block, the TurboTax stuff, all the stuff online. But there's advantages to having somebody in person do this for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the good litmus test for it is kind of whether we can save them enough that kind of covers the fees. I mean, and that's, it isn't always the case, of course, but many times, there's a lot of things that people don't think about, or TurboTax doesn't ask the right question or the right way for that person, and when we can re-ask the question a couple different ways, a lot of times that ends up benefiting the client. Oh, okay, we'll take that deduction. And I've seen it go the other way too. I mean, sometimes TurboTax hands us a lot of clients because, not directly, but because they screwed it up. They answered a question that sounded right, but it was actually going to go in a different spot on a form, and they ended up double counting something.
Yep.
Even though you think, oh wait, I answered that twice now. And that's gotten people in trouble too, where they've gotten audited, and we've had to help them kind of get through some of that.
My wife will watch this, and I will be getting I told you so. We did this 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, wow. We got a big tax return, and it was great until we got that second letter from the IRS saying, hold on a second, we need to audit you. And that's where you guys come in.
And we don't do a lot of audit, support work. We'll do it for clients, existing clients, or, somebody that maybe, it's a simpler scenario. Some of we have referral sources for some of the bigger ones that end up taking our staff too long to where we can't serve our regular clients. That's where it kind of careful about that. But.
So what are some of the common problems, or maybe that's the wrong word, but some of the common themes that you see coming up at tax time that people maybe don't realize that maybe this is new this year, or you know where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I mean, many times it's some of those. I mean, and we live in a gig world now. You know, a lot of side jobs, a lot of side income.
Yeah.
Uber driving, you know, things like that. There's a lot of expenses in that world that people don't realize can be taken. And so a lot of times, you know, I mean, I had a new client that I hadn't sat down with yet. I'd always done the parents' taxes, but now I sat down with the kid, and he was like, wow, I should have done this a year ago before I, you know, got going in this side venture. And in those cases, yeah, there's just so many things that people aren't thinking of. I can write that off too, you know, and so definitely any small to, you know, I mean, that's kind of side gig business is what I would consider that, up to even like the, you know, any of the bigger businesses. Sometimes they're not thinking about all the things, and they might be trying to do it themselves, and there might be huge tax advantages of going different routes if they're making pretty good money.
Yeah, and like you said, and the other thing, and I think this is where the problem that I got into a few years ago was where we did enough side gigs, and I coach and did some other things with that, where it put me into different brackets, whereas individually you're like, oh, well, that's not a high-paying job.
Right.
This is not a high-paying job. But then you put a bunch of not high-paying jobs together, suddenly now you're starting to be in a different tax bracket, right?
Yeah, and the self-employment part of that is what impacts a lot of it. You know, people, I mean, I give people a hard rule about when they come in, they're first being self-employed, you might want to just put half of that in savings, because by the time the tax rates kind of figure out and you pay the self-employment on top of your regular tax rate, you're closing in on 50% for a lot of families or even individuals.
Okay.
And so, you know, you got to realize that, well, my prices need to go up, or my, you know, I'm not making enough on those gigs, so maybe that doesn't work out.
Absolutely. And then so anytime you see a new you know, a new change in tax law, a new let's say political philosophy come in, do you have to go completely back to tax school? Is that how it works? I mean, has your life been upside down the last year or two?
Yeah, I mean, this year has been challenging. The next year when we hit tax season will be the hardest. Our software will probably have trouble keeping up with new changes as they kind of apply some of the new rules.
Yeah.
And we have a decent handle on what the new rules are and what they're going to look like, and until the forms come out officially, that's going to be challenging. But I mean, every year CPAs are required. We have a rolling 40 credit average every year, so you have to put in 40, like a full week basically of training every year. So most utilize that, you know, when we have time like this. We'll probably take some extra this year, you know, and utilize it rolling forward after that. That way we get some, you know, get more on this year, you know, updates and things.
So it's not just you get your license and then you're kind of done. You can just roll for 20 years.
Yeah, and it's hard. You know, people don't. There's a lot of things where you might think, oh, we know most of what's out there, but I mean, you know, the tax law could fill up this car, and you know, plus you know, and maybe some more.
Oh, heck
but
yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of. I mean, we see new stuff all the time that we, you know, end up doing research on, and finding what the tax courts ruled and things like that, where you can kind of, okay, we can take this position and let's treat it this way on the return. And,
sure.
You know, we run into that pretty regularly, actually. You know, just different things.
Yeah.
You might see once a year or once every couple of years. You know.
So I want to shift gear a little bit and talk about Nick Hurliman, the man.
Oh yes.
What do you like to do? What do you do when you're not saving people millions and millions of dollars?
Right.
Which is a guarantee.
Right.
It will save you $1 million, or it's free.
Asterisk at the bottom of this video.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you do when you're not doing that stuff?
Well, I mean, I you know, wrestling has been a lot of my life.
Right.
I coached wrestling in Scappoose since probably 2002, I think, is the year I started helping Jim Jones at the high school.
They got a heck of a program too, huh?
Yeah, we've built it up over the years, and you know, great youth program is kind of what I focus on now. And then so I spend a lot of time with that. Whatever other sports, kind of, if they're real short coaches, sometimes I'll help out. I've done some soccer. I've done some flag football, you know, different things like that.
Yeah. What do you get out of coaching? What do you like about coaching?
Well, I mean, I get excited for the youth, and that actually, I mean, I've taken that a lot of years, and when, you know, as we staff up at our office, I mean, that's been a huge benefit. You know, the more I can coach people, you know, kids, it transitions great into the professional world. So I'm able to you know, I feel like I'm able to get our staff up to speed pretty quickly because of that, you know, and it's kind of a cool takeaway. And just seeing the kids grow is amazing. You know, some of the, I mean, not every kid makes good choices, but over the years, you know, most seem to, and we, you know, they turn out great, and then they come back. I mean, some come back later as clients. You know, I'm serving some of them as clients now.
That's
from
your
all
deep
those years
secret.
ago.
That's your secret.
You're right.
Get them young.
Yeah.
But you got to see it. I mean, that's got to be kind of rewarding, right? When you're, it's almost the same as in the work world. When you help somebody out, you get that sort of sense of, I know, was it accomplishment? Is that the right word? Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely huge satisfaction to it. I mean, when they are successful in their life and, or you know, whatever career path they go down.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm waiting for the day when I'll get one back. You know, maybe I'll get an accounting wrestler at some point again too.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be cool. But you know, and then it translates into like this event we're doing at the end of August. So you know, August 31st, we're doing that kids in business thing.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
so
right. Talk a little bit about that.
Youth entrepreneurs. We're going to have there's signups on our website at hurlimancpa.com, and on our Facebook page, Hurliman CPA. But you can basically any kids, they just need to put their age, you know, what they're going to sell. They can't sell food items really, but you know, weapons obviously. Right. Couple of key things they can't do.
It's be accounting. I mean, come on.
But after that, they can pretty much sell anything, and we'll provide the table space and the library sponsoring with us too in it.
That's cool.
And so they're going to give they're going to give out 2 Kindle Fires actually as part of the prizes, so that kids can earn a prize. But they can also, they're selling their wares at our tables. They're going to have a table space. They can sell what they've made or created, and they can make money. You know, and they get some kind of experience. And then we're going to have, I've already got maybe enough volunteers, but a couple of business owners are going to interview the kids and grade them. I've got some grading sheets.
Oh, yeah?
Kind of, you know, what's their sales pitch? You know, what's their booth display look like? You know, a couple of things to kind of, you know, to give the kids some feedback. You know, and kind of talk with them. And so we're going to do that, and they'll get graded, and that's how we'll determine who wins the prizes. But
I didn't know that last part. That's cool that they get that sort of feedback as well.
Yeah, and we did it at the powwow when the powwow was around, and it was super fun. And there were so many kids that are maybe not musical, maybe not sports oriented, but this was an outlet, and the parents were so excited. They were just like, "Oh, my kid loves making this stuff. He has nowhere to sell it or whatever." Yeah. So
hey, so we do this thing at the end of Chamber Chat, which I didn't tell you about. No singing.
Okay.
It's a speed round.
Okay.
It's a speed round. All right. So give me your fastest answer. A little bit of thought. Favorite food?
Probably the Hawaiian food.
Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Where'd you get your Hawaiian food from?
Well, we make it.
Oh, you make it?
And it's going to be at the library movies in the park every week, too.
Oh, it's a plug. Shameful
With
plug.
the shave ice, too.
Oh, double plug.
Right.
Oh, that's all right, fair enough.
Good one.
If it wasn't Hawaiian food.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's probably tough.
One food for the rest of your life.
Probably sushi. Sushi's fun.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, cool. Favorite music?
Oh man, I'm all over the board. I mean, more recently, I'm probably back to some of the rock and punk and things like that of college years.
Nice.
But
who's your favorite band? I mean, obviously nobody has just one.
Tough call. Yeah. Right now, it's the Dirty Heads. Probably used to be AFI.
Yeah.
But that show sold out this year. So.
Nice.
Anyway.
That's cool. Favorite place you've been? Ooh. That you've actually physically been to?
Well,
you can't say Warren.
No, I went on a wrestling trip to South Africa. That's probably not the #1 spot. Super cool.
Really?
But I went to El Salvador on a surf trip. That was amazing. El Salvador is like an untapped little new Costa Rica in a way.
That's pretty cool.
And that was 10 years ago.
I'm sure El Salvador is delighted to hear their tagline.
Yes,
we're the new Costa Rica.
Right. I mean,
magical.
There's just as many machetes and machine guns hanging around.
Exactly. Favorite place you want to go that you haven't yet been? Bucket list.
Ooh, that's probably New Zealand, Australia. You know, one of those two.
Yeah. Why?
I think
Why?
New Zealand. There's great surf there too, and just some of the outdoor activities and just the scenery. I mean, New Zealand's main reason for that.
And that's pretty sweet. Person you'd like to meet? Who's alive? And then I got one more after that. You can guess what it's going to be.
First one, oh man, that's.
Oh, we asked the hard-hitting questions.
Hard-hitting. Yeah, I don't know. It'd probably. That's a tough one. It'd probably be a business professional of some sort, actually. You know. but I don't know if I can pinpoint. It'll be like an Elon Musk or someone like that.
Oh, okay.
You know, someone that's done it.
Yeah, he's fairly successful.
Yeah, he's done all right.
Get him to pay for dinner.
Yeah.
And then what about...
But local celebrities take that level of status too. If someone's done really well, and I'm like, wow, you've done really well. Yeah.
Good job. I'd love to meet the mayor.
Yes.
Oh, come on, bigger than that. All right, famous person who's dead. Someone who's dead.
Oh wow.
Anybody. The whole of history.
You know, that would... It's funny. I'll go economist for this.
Oh.
That's really lame, but...
This is CPA 101.
right. This is really sad. It'd probably be Milton Friedman. He was really interesting. I've watched a lot of his old Phil Donahue. It's just super interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to get out more.
I know. It's really sad. Really sad.
So we're wrapping up here. If they want to get a hold of you, how do they? Obviously, give them your address. Give them tell me, how do we get a hold of Hurliman?
Well, so the drive-by is right across from Scappoose High School on the highway.
Yep. Big
sign says Hurliman CPA. 503-987-1587 is our phone number. And then we have info at hurlimancpa.com. They can shoot us an email or Facebook message, or we've even got a text number now. I don't remember off the top of my head. We've got a fax line. Brilliant. However you want to talk. Facebook message.
Find him.
Tweet at me if you need to.
Oh, good one. And they could just, and if they're just, hey, just give Nick a call, and just like, that's actually how we got hooked up. Just give them a call and say, hey, look, this is our problem. Can you help us? Can you not? And what's great about them, and I'm giving a little plug here, is if they can't do it, they'll let you know, and they'll let you know somebody who can. But chances are, you guys can handle it.
Right. And we do a free consult, so we can kind of figure that out, see if we're a good fit. You know, if you want to do business with us or not. You know, I want people to be happy doing business. So.
Perfect. Well, this is another episode of Chamber Chat, and this has been Nick Hurliman. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.